All right, Shawn
Bump
Zittel
box,
here.
get you one.
Little product placement there by Shawn, but here with the two-time champion, Showtime Shawn Porter, now not in the role of fighter, but in the role of trainer, training his pupil here, Marquis Taylor, 17-1, has beaten 6 undefeated fighters, set to face his 7th undefeated fighter of his career, December 13th on DAZN, a Red Owl boxing promotion. And let's just start there, guys. What brought you guys together as a team, fighter and trainer? What would you say, Marcus?
First, I'd say what brought us together, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ brought us together. And I just really think, to sum it all up, make it real quick, that's just what it is.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I'll add on to that, because I literally was thinking the same thing. But honestly, once you get past the spiritual aspect that he and I both share, we have the same understandings, from a religious perspective, and he and I both truly do believe that is really what connected us. But the long story short, our first encounter, he didn't know that I knew who he was from seeing his fight. And I told him when I saw him, I said, man, when I saw you walk into the ring that night, I knew you were going to do something. I said, you ended up doing it. I gave him my number. I said, hey, man, if you ever need anything, I want anything from you. I just want to help you. And I gave him my number that day. That was sometime last year. And then he reached out to me. I think it was summertime this year, maybe early fall. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I want you to train me. And I was like, what? all right, I'm gonna call you. And I called him. We had a conversation. And again, that spiritual aspect. Just for me, I always listen to my spirit, and my spirit was telling me something, and his spirit was telling him something too. That was confirmed by his other teammate and someone else on his team. And here we are.
Yeah, how much of that is, as we go on in life, you start to want to work with people that you like, that you share values with, and that kind of thing. Yeah.
For me, that's super important. That's pretty much my foundation. Anybody who knows me knows Kenny Porter, and if you've seen Kenny Porter, once you look at Kenny Porter, you see the extension of everyone else on our team: Coach Larry Wade, Coach Barry Hunter, Coach Hal Chernoff, and all of the other people that I've done business with now. Everyone is really as close to me as a brother, as a mentor, as an uncle. Kind of list goes on. So that's my foundation. And so when it comes to Marcus, we tell each other we love each other, because we truly do. And I think that adds to the kind of output we have for one another in terms of what we're willing to put out when it comes to getting the work done.
Yeah, how much of this work we saw out here today kind of is from the Kenny Porter lineage?
100%. Yeah, I am the Kenny Porter lineage, you know what I mean? Listen, I started training some guys, and I told him when he called me, I said, the funny thing is I just started training kids at a boxing gym, and I started doing that in March. And so he called me, it was probably the end of July, August when he called me. And I just felt like what God had put in my life in March got me ready for something that I was going to do with him. I told the kids over there at Game Changer Sports Academy, you're getting a taste of Cleveland. You're getting what I've learned and what I grew up doing. Everything that I did now here in Vegas came from Cleveland, came from my dad and those that came before my dad. So that's all you're going to get from me. You're going to get an extension of Kenny Porter, and as he said, a better version of Kenny Porter, and I say that humbly.
Marcus, what is it that, when Shawn, yes, two-time champion, but never technically been in the corner in the pros, that kind of thing, and 2 different body types, a compact welterweight instead of a tall middleweight. Mm-hmm. What was it that made you say, I don't just want advice, like I want you to train me, Shawn?
One of the biggest things is where I'm trying to go, he's been. That's one. When me and like he was saying, when me and my cut man Nicholas Gatlin was talking, it's not too many boxers that you could compare my style to at all. But if you had to name a few and you had to name one, like Shawn Porter had, came up. And then when I say, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ connected us, when we had that conversation, me and him had already met each other. So when Nick had brought that back up, I feel like that was God. Like, that's the sign right there. Like,
Right.
I already had met him, you know, and when I first met him, it was like we clicked like that. Like the first day I met him, I felt like I already knew him, and I was just a fan when I first met him. I was just like, man, Showtime Shawn Porter, like, you know, one of the best fighters, you know, one of the Hall of Famers, you know, one of the doggiest fighters I ever seen. Like, you know, nice to meet you. So when he was like, oh yeah, I knew you was gonna do something by the way you walked out. I was like,
The kids call it aura now. They call it aura now. Yeah.
You sure you talking about me? And you're like, yeah, Marquis Taylor, you fought on Boots card. So just that confirmation, I was like, it's like God himself told me, don't waste any more time. Call him. And that's what I did. I literally had that conversation. I didn't waste any time. I spoke from the heart to Coach. It was like, hey, Coach, this. And I told him, I was like, man, God told me to hit you up. Like, you know, I feel it. You know, this, we gonna, like, I gave him some words, like, man, we gonna change this boxing game. You know, I just gave him the vision that God put in my head, and I gave it to Coach. And I think he saw the vision. And then, like I said, we talked. He came down to Houston. You know, we trained together to see if we had a connection, and it just, from day one, the connection just grew even more. I found out about his faith. He found out about mine. I love that aspect too, and it just meshed perfectly to the fact that, like, it wasn't by accident. It literally, this was God that did this for me. It was a God that did this for him as well. And like I said, all I can do right now is thank the Lord that he did that for me. Thank God for Shawn for helping me out, because he doesn't have to do any of this at all. So yeah, I'm just grateful. Overall, just grateful, and I'm ready to make Shawn proud. I'm ready to make my family proud, my city proud, and I'm gonna, you know, go on and become the undisputed middleweight champion of the world.
Shawn, talking about the style that Marcus has, and I pointed out, you know, tall middleweight, you were a compact welterweight. So how much do you teach Marcus what made you effective, and then how much do you tailor what you're teaching him around what works to his strengths, what works to his style?
You know, it isn't just me. I know Coach Wade has said this to my dad as well. He's one of the most underrated coaches, and my dad has alluded to something like, I don't want to be rated. I don't need to be rated. I work with who I want to work with. But that's something that my dad, that a lot of people don't know about my dad. My dad has worked with heavyweights who were 6'5", 6'6", 6'8". You know, my dad has worked with guys shorter than me, and my dad has worked with everyone. So I saw my dad do it as a kid. And when my dad trained me, my dad didn't train me just to be aggressive. I think that's something that people just know me for. My dad trained me to be boxing savvy. He trained me to be fast, quick, accurate from the outside and things of that nature. So, you know, something else that Marcus gets from me, that he gets more from me now, is me trying to tell him to box more from the outside. I think when we, you know, very quickly, everybody wants to see the improvements and the wrinkles and what's new and all those sorts of things. I think that's probably the thing that you're going to see from Marcus that might surprise you, is that he's boxing more from the outside now than before he got with me. Something that you would expect me to teach him, because it's something you saw from me a lot. But I learned from my dad that, and I know this for myself, everybody's not the same. So you can't teach everybody the same. You can't coach everybody the same. You can't treat everybody the same. You can't speak to them the same. So,
Right.
You know, I've really just tailored my training to who Marcus is and where I feel he needs to improve for December 13th. We've touched the surface, but there's a lot of building blocks for Marcus moving forward. But for this one, it was like, we got 3 months. Let's just get you there. Let's make sure you're in shape. Let's make sure you have the right game plan and things of that nature. Outside of that, and I told him this. I said, I'm never gonna stop you from being you. You gonna do you, but I need you to do you when it makes sense, how it makes sense. And so, you know, for me, what anyone looking at me first time coaching, what you can expect from me is game plan, and you can expect me to have a mind for execution more than him being a dog in the ring, more than him being more conditioned than anybody else in the ring and things of that nature. That's what I pride myself on. So that's really what I've been trying to give him more than anything so far.
Well, yeah, it's kind of funny the way you put it. It's like people may look at it, oh, Shawn's going to teach the tall, rangy middleweight how to fight on the inside, but you're actually teaching him to fight more on the outside. Let that Texas dog come out when it needs to and box smart.
My man is blessed because he's had like 2 or 3 growth spurts in his life, and like 2 of them in the last couple of years, you know what I mean? So as a young kid, he had to fight small because he was a small guy. So he grew up learning how to fight small, and now being somewhat a bigger junior middleweight, now he's a full middleweight. We gonna grow him into being a middleweight. He got some things to improve on, and boxing from the outside, I feel, is one of them.
That kind of sounds like Anthony Davis in the NBA, where he was 6'2" and played guard most of high school, and then all of a sudden he has this growth spurt, but the guard skills don't leave, and so right.
Kind of like telling Wimby to stay on the goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you do that? If he's 40% from the 3-point line, why would you say, hey, get your tall butt under the goal? It's just the tall guy. My specialty, my strength was already fighting inside. So I think that's an advantage and a blessing. That I'm this tall, this rangy, and I know how to fight close. That's probably 80% of the reason why I've done what I've done in this sport. Guys look at me, oh, tall guy. And, I'm even going to say this tall African-American guy. He's going to come in there and he's going to be athletic. He's going to go in there, he's going to check hook and back foot and counter punch, and then boom, surprise. Now it's like the end of the fight already. It's the 7th, 8th round, and like the guy look up and like, oh shoot, I lost every round, and then they look at the knockout column. Oh, 2 knock. Well, I'm just, my last 2 fights were stoppages, but before that, 1 knockout. So they're like, oh, this is gonna be an easy fight. He got 1 knockout, he can't hurt me, and then they end up getting dropped. They're like, oh, what's going on? So a lot of my career has been just a total like surprise. Like they just don't know, what they're getting into until they get in there, and it's like no way to train for me. How do you train for me?
So just to talk about hunger for a second, how hungry are you to, like you mentioned, becoming undisputed middleweight champion? How hungry are you to make that a reality? And Shawn, how hungry are you to make that, to help make that happen for someone else, a young man beyond yourself?
I'm just, man, not only am I think it's beyond hunger now. Like I was telling Coach, I feel disrespected. So it's like not hungry anymore. Now it's like personal.
His knees,
like I can't sleep right. You know what I'm saying? I can't live right until I prove everybody wrong. And crazy thing is, I've been proving everybody wrong my whole career for a very, very long time now. And then I still get like people like doubting, you know what I'm saying? And, or still talking like, I'm not who I am. So it's kind of like, I feel like Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's personal. Like I got to drop 40 on everybody now. I got to beat everybody up. Everybody that gets put in the ring with me, I got to show that they're not on my level. And I don't care about height. I don't care about name. I don't care about where you come from. I don't care about your record. I don't care about none of that. The only thing I care about is when we get in that square, what are you going to do then? Your coach can't help you. Your hype man can't help you. Nobody, social media can't help you. Your fans can't help you. Nobody can help you when you get in the ring with me.
There's that chip on the shoulder coming out right there. There it is, manifesting.
Yeah,
usually
that's it right there.
Yeah.
And the blessing that he has in me, I came up through this game as a fighter that was kind of told where to go, what to do, when to do it, who to do it against, and things of that nature. I told Marcus, I work for you. Whatever you want, whatever you need, it's up to me to make that a reality for you. The blessing that he and I both share is we both are like very visionary. We We are goal oriented. We plan, and this is why I love. He knows how to execute, and he accepts nothing less. And that's where I come from too. You know what I mean? So, my main focus is making him live, or helping him live, every goal and dream that he's wanted to live. I got no ulterior motives. I got no dog in the race. I got, somebody said, "Oh, when'd you get him?" I didn't get him. He asked me to train him, and I'm training him. I don't have him. He's his own fighter, and I am the guy assisting him to be great.
Mm-hmm.
And I took that personal when the dude said it to me, and I told him, I was like, I don't like that. I was like, don't let nobody tell you that I got you, bro. Like, you came to me, you asked me to help you, I'm helping you. You know what I mean? So I think his team, just like my team, and me coming into it, it's a recipe for success, top to bottom. I love it.
Have you had to be a dick yet, Shawn? Do you look forward to that part? If it hasn't happened yet, do you look?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's part of the job,
Yeah,
right?
it's a part of the job. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Some days I think he don't like me. Some days, I'm not gonna lie, when we running these sprints and we doing these drills, like, I ain't gonna lie, I think sometimes he's trying to kill me, but I love it, and I don't want nothing less. And if I'm feeling like, this is too easy, I wouldn't feel right. But every day that we train is never easy, and it's always getting me to my breaking point. And I know that growth is not in your comfort zone. That's why I came out here in the first place. I walked out on faith. Like I just told Shawn yesterday, I believe it was yesterday when we was riding in the car, I came out here on all faith, you know what I'm saying? Faith of God first, and then faith to Shawn, having, faith in him. So, before, I'm not coming off a loss, or Shawn's not coming to save me from from losing, or what can I call it, a bad career, or a failing career. I haven't, like I said, I haven't lost in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I've been winning for a very, very long time. I think a lot of people don't understand that. So when I came out here, it is because I'm still not comfortable. I'm still not comfortable where I was. I still want to get better. And I feel like that's why I haven't peaked yet, because I've always looked to get better. I've always looked to improve. I never got comfortable and said, "Oh, I'm the best right now." No, I could get better. Like, I'm a firm believer in, when you think that you've peaked and you're the best, that's when you need to, let the game go and retire. If you feel like you can't get better, then you're done. As long as you feel like you can't improve on anything, you're done in this sport. And I feel like that's why I've lasted so long. That's why I've kept winning, because I never got comfortable where I was. I always wanted to improve and get better. So when I came out here to get even more better. And I feel like that's what I've done. Like, from 4 or 5 weeks ago, I'm a whole totally different person, not just in boxing, but even on the outside. I just feel like I'm becoming, a better person. Shawn has gotten me in the church more, and I'm just feeling better all around, inside and outside the ring. So, like I said, I don't, how many times do you think I told you thank you?
You're gonna keep saying
you know what I'm saying?
It's in the 50s or the 60s.
I tell them every day. I'm just grateful. I'm just really, really grateful that Shawn's doing this. He's out here right now. He has about 15, 20 things that he needs to be doing right now, or he could be doing right now, but he's outside right here with me, trying to help me accomplish my goals, not looking for anything in return.
So lastly, man, just want to talk about the division.